Kia ora, ko Huia Hamon tōku ingoa, no Aotearoa hau, no Ngāti Porou, tōku iwi, ko Tāmaki Makaurau, taku kāinga I nai anei. So my iwi is Ngāti Porou is my first iwi, I would say, on both my grandparents' side. And then I have Te Atanga Mahaki, Uwawa, and Hauiti are my three whenua. And yeah, I have also Spanish, Italian, French, Slavic and Portuguese ancestry. Yeah, so I kind of grew up in a very creative, hands-on world. My koro didn't really do art till he was in his 40s. By necessity, because he actually hurt his back and he was disabled and he had 9 children and they lived in the bush pretty much. So out of necessity, out of boredom, he started to draw, and then my grandmother found the drawings and was desperate, so I took them to a photographer friend who took them to Auckland to a gallery owner, and he said, Kees Hoss is his name, he was Dutch, he had the first progressive art studio in Auckland. Everything was kind of like a bit stiff up to then, but you know, the Europeans have a way of bringing some flair. And so he said to this photographer, send a letter. I said, if you can make 12 pieces of art, I'll put on an exhibition for you. So my koro did, and it sold out, and then he was just an artist from then. I released in Te Reo electronic. I released electronic music as my thing, so drum and bass, reggaeton, dancehall, and then ambient electronic, a little bit urbanish sometimes. I don't know if the only thing that kind of ties my sound in is my voice and my themes, and that's whether I'm singing like with a guitar and me, or I'm doing a big drum and bass set on stage. Like, it's still me, you know, it's still my voice, and it still carries my sound and my lyrics and my melodies and my progressions. That's how I kind of describe my sound. It's all me, it's all my thoughts and feelings, and then the music kind of like alternates around it, you know, depending on if I think, like, got a song called Marama La Luna, which is like a reggaeton song that I wrote. Depending on how much time I have, like, I like other people to write my backtracks. So Sean Richards wrote, he does really good drum and bass, way better than I could ever try and do. So I'll have his songs, license his songs, and Ray writes beats for fun. Io is one of his beats, Tui Tui is one of his beats, Tukua Tukuata is one of Ray's beats, and then he'll just like rewrite them and then kind of add to them, and then we work together in the studio to kind of add stuff. The song that's doing really well at the moment is Tui Tuia or Whakapapa, which is a drum and bass song. It's a song dedicated to my children. But because they don't know, like, people who are listening, they don't speak Te Reo, so they're like jamming along, just playing on George FM, which is like amazing. People are like, yeah, you know, Tui Tuia or Whakapapa, they understand what that means, but the words are like all about my children. It's like, goodbye my child, you know, like, haerera e te taonga, ko koe taku ora, like, goodbye my children, like, into the world. It's all about them growing up and me releasing them into the world and being, obviously not now, when they're bigger. So it's like a message from like me to my children to say, you know, tui tuia or whakapapa, like, wind together your ancestry, like, use that as your balance, and you can always come back to your maunga and your awa, like, and I'm always here, even if I'm not here in person. Like, the fact that as tangata whenua, where we have our marae, we have a place to go, you know, that we've always gone on this land. It's pretty powerful. So that's what the Waiata is about. So I'm super stoked that George FM are playing it. was also up for Best Māori Song or whatever on the Student Radio Network. So that means the BFM, the BNet stations are playing it too, which is pretty amazing. So even just like having te reo getting to those ears is like a highlight for me. I won an award this year, Best Māori, very long, Best Māori Wahine Solo Artist Award. And that's really cool. Like, I'm very grateful for that. I've been doing it for a while, so this feels really amazing. I'm really grateful for that. But then it's like, what do I do with that is even more important, you know, with being able to say, when I went over to like overseas to say, hey, I'm currently like, you know, awarded Best Māori Wahine Solo Artist in my country. It was really nice to be able to say that, because they kind of went, oh, you're not just like, we're not, you know, you're actually dedicated to doing what you're doing. Like that's really what that meant, to be able to say that and to share. It's like, oh, you're actually been working long enough at this trade and with the skills you have to be acknowledged in that way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And going to Womex has been a highlight. I literally just got back from Portugal yesterday.
Sinaput põhja tuli, mis sinaput. Solo por tu querer, tan solo era por tu querer.
Everyone that's there, like, is just they're displaying their own culture through music. They're celebrating their culture through music. And so what the buyers do, they've got these big festivals or they have a label or something. They are looking how they can commoditize that culture, which they do. And some people are there and they don't really see the people, and they're there to sell their bands for festivals and to get them on different labels to make money. And they're quite open about that. And then there's the people that have these amazing festivals like International Indigenous Music Summit. You know, there's no reason we couldn't have it here one year. Because Canada's quite far still for people, but they are looking at a gathering of artists, knowledge keepers, community builders, allies and cultural innovators dedicated to creating awareness, sharing resources and building opportunities for the Indigenous music community. And these women who run this are amazing. I love them. So there is all this stuff that came from there, which is about cultural sharing, story sharing, revitalization and Indigenous empowerment, which I think is way bigger. I don't think Womex as a construct really understands that this is happening. They kind of do, but it's been spearheaded by Hinurewa, who was Te Ho, who is from Aotearoa. She's been going to them for ages underneath the Matariki Festival Trust, I think they call it themselves now. She's been going for years, and she's been establishing pathways, but this is the first year she's had, like, we had quite a big group there, maybe 8 of us, and a lot of te reo Māori artists who work in te reo Māori art only, but so she feels really good about this. Like, this year she's like, this is about succession, so she's looking to pull everyone in to keep going. I think, like, it's really important for people to, like, try and get as much help as you can. You know, like, we have a lot of really good, like, bodies that you can get information from. So you can go to the APRA. We have free workshops all the time. They're super beneficial to go to those. I think a lot of people don't, especially when you're starting off, like, going to those, because it's actually just, again, like, going back to, you know, tangata, back to people. Because if you meet the people at the workshop, they're probably more beneficial than you being at the workshop itself. You know, you can go learn about digital rights. You might get, like, some of it there, but then you might meet, like, the people who actually distribute the music, and they can be like, no, do this, this, and this, and this. Because it's actually the people will help you, you know, like, and you got to be open to finding as much information as you can. A lot of people just think, oh, I just need to get a label and, you know, then I'll be set, but you probably won't. Probably won't, because again, it's just people, right? People on people. Definitely going and doing all the as many workshops as you can find. You know, sometimes you might have to pay $20, but you'll save like thousands of dollars in time. And yeah, I guess that's my main advice, just to get all, I guess, just go to all those things, go to those community building things, because that's all it really is building community, and community will help you. You know, you'll make friends you didn't realize that you needed, and people want to help. You know, in general, most people want to help out each other. We're vibe setters. You know, we're all there to make people have a good time. We're there to help people through their dark times. We're there to help people release anger, depending on what your song is. You know, we're there to make a party. we're there to push you through the day. You know, that's what we want to do as music makers, is make people happy.